Oh, I know that purposeful stride.
Oh, gold.
Can it be Debbie Franks, intrepid girl editor of Day to Day?
That's all I want. Mr. McFarlane in one of his arty moods.
What's up with you? Didn't you have a good weekend?
Oh, lovely. If it's your idea of fun, dragging around looking for baby minders.
Haven't you found anyone yet?
Do you know what it's like, trying to find reliable baby minders?
Can't say I've ever had the problem.
Well, keep it that way. How was your weekend? I hear the famous Skywatch was a washout. I bumped into Brett yesterday.
It wasn't a complete washout.
You didn't see any aliens, then?
No, but I did have a friendly visitor.
Not from outer space, though.
No, from Inner Hampstead. Got a nice little pad off Fitzjohn's Avenue.
Cressida.
With hot soup to keep me company.
Morris must have been over the moon about that.
Morris is a back number now, but Mr. McFarlane is in.
How far in?
As in as you can get.
You're joking.
That flat of hers is far too big for one.
Well, it was bought for two, wasn't it? Her and Morris.
She's given me the spare key now.
I'm amazed.
We're in love.
There seems to be an epidemic of that at present. I suppose you'll be whistling round the office and all now, as if it isn't bad enough with Dickon and Trudy Winder.
Maybe you'll be next.
Me? When would I have the time?
Can't be that bad.
Oh, yes, it can. Still, if there's going to be any fella in my life at the moment, I'd just as soon it was Sam.
A damn and blast.
What is it, Matt?
I can't reach me flaming socks now.
Oh, hang on, I'll get them.
Oh, why I bother with socks when I can't feel my feet anyhow?
I'll help you on with them.
I don't need any help. What do you think this gadget's for?
Come on.
Oh, I can't seem to manage anything this morning.
You're tired, that's all.
Oh.
It's marvellous the way you've been coping without Alexis, but it's bound to take it out of you.
Don't talk to me about that gold-digging little opportunist.
Perhaps we should get someone from the agency, Matt. Just to come in
I don't
part-time.
want some Nancy boy from the agency fussing over me. I've already said so a dozen times.
Then at least think about having a break sometime. I mean, what about that holiday in cat sauce that Brad suggested?
I've already told you it's out of the question.
But I talked to Bill. He said he can cope with the freezer plant for a couple of weeks. And Rob could manage at the restaurant. A break would do us all good. Jeremy, too.
Be a great break for you, isn't it? Lugging a wheelchair round Catsos, because that's what it'd be like without Alexis.
Matt, Rob thinks Alexis may be getting fed up.
Serves him right. Well, he made his bed, so let him lie in it.
But if there was a chance of persuading him to leave her...
No,
and come...
Lynn.
Well, after all, he did come round and see how you were getting on.
And I told him to shove off.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Well, what was I meant to do? Beg him to come back? Tell him I was lost without him?
You could have said you missed him.
Look, the last thing on earth I'll ever do is crawl to that Greek slob, so just put me ruddy shoes on, woman.
I see. Well, when will she be in? Well, could you tell her I rang? Debbie Franks, that's right.
Liz wants to see you. I hope you're not late with your copy again.
Oh, I am sorry to disappoint you, Morris, but it was delivered on Friday, as agreed, on the dot.
Well, she looked a bit knocked about something.
That's probably you, love, if you were as charming to her as you've been to me. That or the failure of her Skywatch.
I said from the beginning that would be a waste of time.
Yeah, and I bet you said it to her again this morning.
Well, who wants to read about a complete non-event?
I gather it wasn't entirely uneventful.
What's that supposed to mean?
A little bird told me that while some people were getting stiff-necks gazing fruitlessly at the heavens, others were filling their time more profitably.
Have you nothing better to do than listen to office gossip?
I wonder if it'll hit the Junior Spellgrove column, since the amorous exploits of the Firth seem to be of such consuming interest to everyone.
Not to me, they're not.
Make an amusing snippet, though, wouldn't it? While debonair Dickon continues to date pop starlet Trudy Window, his ex-debutante's sister has set up house with that irresistible playboy from down under, Gray McFarlane.
I'm sorry, Debbie, I'm not in the mood for jokes.
Who's joking?
He's moved in with her. I don't believe it.
Didn't you know? I thought that's why you were in such a vile mood.
I don't believe it.
Ask him yourself.
I couldn't care less one way or the other.
That's all right then, innit?
I'm afraid we're not open yet, sir. Oh, Brad.
Not even for me.
I didn't recognize you for a moment. What are you doing here?
Come to see my favorite girl.
Ah.
I was in town yesterday, stayed over. Well, I had a few things to do this morning.
Can you stay for lunch?
No, I'd better get back to Maidenhead. But I wouldn't say no to a quick drink. Have you got time for one?
Of course. What'll you have, Manhattan?
No, just a plain scotch.
Right, I'll join you. That was a lovely weekend we had with you.
We always enjoy seeing the three of you. Matt should get away more often.
Yes.
Well, have you thought any more about Katsos then?
I've tried to coax Matt, but he says it just isn't on.
Why not?
Well, it is an awful business for him going on holiday. And now he hasn't got Alexis.
No problem. We can hire us someone out there.
I said that, but he won't budge. He's got this thing about being helped. With Alexis, it was a very casual arrangement. He worked in the freezer plant as well, so Matt didn't feel he was there specifically for his benefit.
You're going to have to get that Alexis guy back.
Oh, God, I wish we could. Here, water?
Oh, I'll help myself.
Perhaps Jeremy and I could get out there for a while.
Then we'd have you worrying about Matt all the time.
Can we leave it open a bit longer, in case he changes his mind?
Just slip the phone any time and I'll fix it. You know we'd love to have you all out there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Has young Jeremy settled back again?
Yes. You'd never know he'd had all that upheaval. His headmaster says he's more his old self at school, too.
Well, I'm glad it's all worked out.
For us, anyway. I still feel awful about Peter.
Yeah. I met a friend of Peter's yesterday.
Oh?
Friend of Jeremy's, too, come to that.
Who was that?
John Tully.
Ah.
I went to see him about overhauling my boat.
Oh, not just on Jeremy's recommendation.
Well, I did ring Peter first.
What did you think of Mr. Tully?
He's my kind of person.
He is a nice man. How will you get her up from Maidenhead?
Via Brentford Lock, simple.
Oh, Jeremy will be thrilled.
It's a pity he's such a lousy businessman.
Mr. Tully?
Yeah, he tells me he's closing down shortly.
Oh, that'll be a blow for Peter. He spends a lot of time down there.
So I hear.
I honestly think now Jeremy's gone, that's his only outlet.
According to John Tully, Peter's come up with this scheme for keeping the boatyard viable by rebuilding and letting holiday cruisers. It's quite a sound scheme, as a matter of fact. But, of course, it would mean a large capital outlay for him.
Which he presumably hasn't got.
But which I have.
Are you serious, Brad?
Well, Tully showed me Peter's breakdown, and I had a few words with certain contacts this morning. Seems to me it could be worth investing something in. I don't like to see a good man like John Tully go under for lack of a few pounds.
No.
There would have to be a proviso, though.
What's that?
He'd have to get someone in to look after the administration side. Someone with business experience who could go in with him.
You wouldn't have anyone in mind, would you?
Why, no. Do you?
Sit down, Debbie. I want to talk to you.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
I had a look at your day-to-day material over the weekend.
Was it all right?
Well, you should know the answer to that.
Yeah, I do. It wasn't.
There was nothing wrong with the basic ideas, but it read like a rough draft.
Well, I suppose I did rush it a bit.
Yes, you did, and it's obvious.
I was in a hurry to get it in. I'd lost those 2 days last week.
And whose fault was that? I had to spend half yesterday editing it. And that's what you're supposed to do, not me.
I'm sorry.
You're finding it too much, aren't you?
No, I can manage. It's only
Be
that...
honest, Debbie. It's quite obvious that you can't. Not at present, anyway. I mean, you'll make yourself ill if you go on like this.
It'll be all right once I've sorted out something for Sam.
I gather you've had some more problems there.
Well, there should be a place in the day nursery soon. I'm at the top of the list. It's just a matter of finding someone to mind him till then.
Who's doing it now?
Oh, Carol still. But she's fed up with it.
Have you got anyone in mind?
Well, no. But I've got some names. It'll be all right. I'll find somebody.
Well, I think until you've got a really satisfactory arrangement, the best thing I can do is to relieve you of any additional pressures.
You're not trying to lay me off, are you?
No, of course I'm not. But you could still take the 29 weeks you're entitled to.
I don't want to.
It might be best for you and the baby.
What do you know about it? How can anyone but me know what's best for us? Liz, if I don't have my work, I'll go mad.
In that case, I'd like you to return to your old job at the reporter's pool.
What?
And I shall ask Gray McFarlane to take over the editing of Day to Day for the time being.
Oh, no. Please, Liz. I can do it. I know I
Well,
can.
so do I.
It's certainly better than Gray.
I wouldn't have offered you the job in the first place if I hadn't thought that.
Well, then
But
surely...
you can't do it properly under these circumstances. Look at your record so far. You failed to meet your deadline last week. The week before there were serious omissions, and now this shambles.
I know,
Believe me, I don't like doing this to you, but I can't afford to carry anyone, Debbie. We're undermanned as it is. I have to be able to rely on my editorial staff. I've gone out on a limb on this day-to-day section, and if it doesn't maintain a high standard, I'm the one who's going to get it in the neck. Now, I'd like to see both you and Gray in here this afternoon.
Alexis!
Oh, Jeremy, my old mate, my old buddy. Oh, he's good to see you.
And you.
Oh, you are going to tea with your mother?
Oh, no. I'm living there again now. Daddy said it was all right in the end.
Oh, that is brilliant, no?
Yes, ace.
Oh, shut up, Monty. I speak to my friend Jeremy. You are being the dead dog.
Is he yours?
No,
Whose is he then?
Zoe's, the lady I work for.
Is that the rich old hag?
Sorry?
Matt said you've gone to work for a rich old hag.
No, she is a very nice lady, in some ways.
Oh, I wish you hadn't gone, Alexis.
Oh, you miss me a little?
I'll miss you a lot. There's no one to play pontoon with. Matt misses you too.
Oh, he says so.
Well, no, but I can tell. He's always tired and shouting, and he fell over yesterday.
Oh, this I fear.
And he says he can't go to Catsos in the holidays because you won't be there. I wish you hadn't left us, Alexis.
Yes. Ah, well, he's done now. Hey, you like to see my new digital watch?
Oh, yes.
It has 34 different functions.
That you, Debbie?
Yeah.
Listen to the silence.
What?
He's quiet.
Give him time.
Had a good day?
Oh, fantastic. Don't come like today too often.
What's up?
I've been taken off the day-to-day page.
Hey, you're not editing it anymore.
I've been slung back in the reporter's pool. She's given the job to Gray McFarlane.
Why?
Because I mucked it up, that's why. Oh, all the time I was sitting there, hating her. I knew I'd be doing exactly the same thing if I was in her shoes.
Perhaps it's for the best.
What, that I lose the one good chance I have had?
Oh, you'll have other chances when Sam's easier to cope with.
You reckon?
Yeah, of course you will. Here, do you have any luck with those other numbers the elf visitor gave you?
Nah. I rang round in my lunch hour from a public call box so Morris wouldn't get at me. Same old story. They've all got their full quota.
Well, there's a card up in the newsagents. Woman up the road who's willing to take in babbies.
Carol, I can't just dump him on any old person.
Well, you could go and see her. She may be all right. It's just my friend, you know, who runs the stall in Kentish Town. Well, she thinks she could flog some and be beads now the tourist trade started. I don't want to push you, Debbie, but, well, sorry.
All right. All right, Carol. I get the message.
And don't forget you can hear an omnibus edition of Waggoners Walk at 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon here on Radio 2. But now it's back to Tom Brown and much more music.
Music just for you.